welcome to the Rusty Chatters podcast, a show where we stray from politics, religion, all that divisive stuff, and we talk about stuff that brings people together.
Like politics and religion?
Like politics and religion.
All right, so
how about Pfizer sponsoring every major news source and football game? Is that crazy or what? You know?
Wowzers. Well, speaking of shady shit, so the other day, I've been donating blood for years, and I decided to go donate some plasma. And let me tell you, these are sketchy places. Let me tell you the mark of a bad neighborhood. When you got a pawn shop beside a liquor store beside a plasma center, you're asking for trouble.
Dude, 3 birds, 1 stone.
Yeah. You can do it all in one trip, man. It's all good to go.
But I go in there, and I look around, and I quickly realize I'm the only person that's not on methamphetamines in this group. And I was like, I'm already pretty nervous, so I'm looking around. And this lady's like, hey, I'm his referral. Put me down. And I was like, ooh. And the lady that was reading my papers was like, he's already got a referral, so you're not going to get that $50.
Some lady was trying to piggyback off of you?
She's trying to piggyback. I actually had 2 people try to piggyback me in about 20 minutes of being in there.
That's nice.
Well, to be fair about the Plaza Center is like, yeah, the waiting room is filled with meth heads, but they don't allow any of them in the back. Once you go back to the back, it's mostly normal people. I mean, they're rough normal people, but they're normal. But I was speaking of that, so I just got let go of my job the other day because I'm in school, and they can't handle a school schedule, being a bunch of school bags.
You have a very inconvenient school schedule.
I have a very inconvenient school schedule. I'm there 5 days a week, and no job feels like dealing with that shit. So fair enough is what it is. However, so I got off the phone with my boss, who's like, yeah, we got to let you go. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to the Plasma Center. I'll see you later. So I go to the Plasma Center eventually, and next thing you know, I get there, I run my new customer, my new donor stuff, and I'm like sitting in line, and there's this guy that came in before me. Some guy, he just got off work or something. He was already kind of irritated. Next thing you know, they call me up so they can do my little prick my finger, to test, my blood for different things, my protein counts and stuff. Yeah. And then somebody else goes, and this dude's sitting in front of me, and I can hear him mumbling to himself, and he's like, man, I've been sitting here already, and everybody's already went before me. And he starts freaking out. He starts yelling across the room at these at the women at the doing all the blood stuff.
Man's got something to say.
No, yeah, he started freaking out. I was like, man, I'm tired of this shit. Everybody don't win in front of me. I'm tired of this bullshit. Everybody just like freaking the fuck out. And they're like, sir, you can just come on up and go. And then he goes up there and he's just bitching, the whole drive-by bitcher, just like Barry.
No, there's a difference. No, he was directly bitching. I'm a drive-by bitcher.
He was driving, doing that passive-aggressive, like slights to everybody, just like,
so to
it's like, man,
picture.
fuck all these hoes. I done been up here, this, that, and the other, not even like saying anything directly at the ladies. He's kind of like looking down, looking away, they're taking his blood and stuff like that. Man, I've been out here just trying to do this shit. And fuck all y'all, man. I've been out here, waiting, everybody going before me. That's discrimination. I'm tired of this bullshit. Just not even looking at the lady, just looking around. Just yakking, freaking out.
Should have went behind him and just clapped them ears, man.
Nah, so next thing everybody starts pulling out their camera because this dude starts getting violent. He starts like screaming, freaking the fuck out. And the thing is, this is how I noticed that shit goes down often at this plasma center.
There's security guards.
Oh yeah, dude. They have an armed security guard right there in the waiting room, just waiting for anything to go down. And so this dude starts screaming, hooping, and hollering, like talking about he's gonna fight everybody in here, all this stuff. And the armed security guard comes over, like, hey man, you got to get the fuck out of here. He's like, man, who the fuck you? Oh man, I'm just trying to be, I'm just trying to, tell him what I think. And I was like, nah, dude, you get the fuck out of here. We ain't about to deal with your shit. And he said, no, get off me, man. I'm trying to tell everybody I'm not trying to have a problem with you. All this other stuff. And they start, next thing you know, the dude's like shoving against the security guard. And the security guard grabs him by the neck and like chunks him to the side. He's like, man, I'm just trying to have a conversation with your ass, trying to talk to you like a man. It's like, dude, you're sitting here bitching.
He was sitting there, he was talking, he's going to fight everybody, and then he says it, and he looks over, and the security guard looks like Terry Crews. He's like, all right, never mind.
That's a big security guard, a big bald dude, that's what he does.
If you're a bouncer or a security guard, you got to be bald-headed with about 6 neck rolls.
Yeah, 6. That's the
minimum.
Now, this dude's probably pushing 450 on the bench. He's a big dude.
Can't scratch his nads.
Because this dude that was bitching, he was just, rail,
Yeah.
A slung out worm, they've been already taking out that much of his blood every other day.
Like a walking baby Groot.
Yeah. And so he's big and bold. I'm just like sitting there just watching. Everybody pulls their phones out and starts recording all that stuff. And it's just funny. They end up dragging him out. And and throwing him outside. And they
Dragging him?
Yeah, he's like pushing, like grab hold of this man's shirt and everything, just like picking him up and just throwing him out the door.
That's pretty exciting. I'm not gonna lie. I'd be like,
that
oh,
was a damn
shit.
good way to start off my plasma day. I was like,
Well, so I went and finally donated. And after like 2 of the zombies there tried laying claims on me, I got to the back, and it took this lady about 5 minutes of fumbling around this machine, starting to make me nervous at this point. I was like, all right. So,
anything bigger than a chihuahua makes you nervous.
yeah. But anyway, I'm sitting there like she's diddling with the machine, and I do mean diddling. She's breathing heavy, doing all the shit. And so
Some big girls.
She's probably
back
working
there,
fast, man.
and she starts, they take my blood and they're about to start separating it from the plasma and give it back. And I was like, it was taking forever. So I was like, I told the lady, hey, I'm about to leave. I was only 5 minutes in. I was like, I ain't got time for this. She goes, you ain't going to get paid today. I'm like, lady, I'm not hurting that bad for $50. I got to get out of here. This place is freaking me out. And so
You're so paranoid, Russell.
no, dude, it was weird, man. And then when I get in there, and I swear I got asked if I was a prostitute at least 5 times when I got in there. I was like, do you have sex for drugs? I'm like, no, I already told the lady at the front, and I already said it on the kiosk. No.
I'm so upset, man. They got to ask these questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, they ask those questions every time you go in there. And it's like, have you ever, given any type of payment for sex, whether it be monetary or food or drugs or anything like that?
And I
yeah. I actually, believe it or not, whenever nuggets were $1.59 at the old Burger King, I tossed a couple out there.
Oh. But it was just.
But I kept the honey mustard.
What's funny about those questions? They specifically ask if you're a guy. They specifically ask, have you engaged in any type of homosexual activity? So
Got to ask that at least 5 times.
Yeah,
I'm
they
like,
do.
my God, I've said this already.
That's kind of interesting to me. Is like, do they allow gay people to donate because of unprotected sex? So
That was very strange. Very strange.
So I don't know if there's if a lot of gay people do donate plasma or not. It seems like gay people are generally more better off than most people anyway. So
probably not in the plasma center.
probably not
Peasants.
struggling that hard to go to the plasma center. But I don't know. That is funny. Like there's a lot of questions about that.
So
because they're worried about AIDS and And,
so I'm there because I'm trying to just give back to the community because I like donating blood and all. I figured I'd do plasma and get some money, but it's a whole different environment. I mean, you go into one of the little lifestyle little vans, you go in there, the buses rather, they're all smiling, hey, nice to see you. And
which is bullshit, by the way. I don't know why they don't pay you for blood, because you realize how much a bag of blood costs at the hospital.
No clue.
Like it's a lot of money.
And I have the kind that donates to like 80% of the population. So it's like O positive or something. It's one that's really needed a lot. It's like 80%, I think, is the number they told me. So I don't mind doing it, but they just seem like they know what they're doing. And then I had a lady argue with me, which vein is best. I'm like, lady, I'm telling you, this is the one I use, and I've tried this other one.
This is the one I use. I always send heroin in this.
No, like if I use my right arm for some reason, it takes forever to flow, and people don't believe me. So about one of every 4 times this happens, the nurse is like, I think I can do it this time. I'm the hero. And she goes in, no blood flow, and we're sitting there for about 45 minutes. She's like, I got to stick you again. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You feel better now, lady?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I just still feel like that's a whole lot of bullshit that they don't pay you for your blood. Because the thing is, what's going to put you under more? Losing all those blood cells or just losing a bit of plasma? They're just going to fill back up with saline. You'll be good to go. You can go to work out just a couple hours after you give blood. Or you give plasma. Blood, like you're down for like a couple days waiting on your body to recuperate. And then how expensive it is, how much it's needed. It just baffles me that they don't pay you for your blood. That's just people out there just making free money. Because like they say it's nonprofit, like Life South and all those places like that. No, they make money. They have to pay for their workers. They sell that shit.
Yeah, I think it's like $150 to the hospitals, and then the hospitals mark it up to like $800 a bag.
Yeah,
it's something ridiculous.
It's something ridiculous. So I mean, there's no reason you shouldn't make.
Don't quote me on that.
So you're saying I need to get in the blood harvest game?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Just get you a death car, start harvesting organs, man. Like they do in China.
Yeah.
Like they do in China.
Start snatching.
Where do you get
I
this
mean, we don't
information?
get political until we get.
No, it's not political. It's just
it's not.
There are death cars that go out, snatch people up, and leave you kidneyless in a bathtub full of.
that is.
I like that adjective, kidneyless. That's a
no
band
one
name.
is just out there just snagging a kidney.
They do it all the
happens.
time. It happens.
That has never happened to anyone.
Barry's trolling, folks.
I'm not trolling. I mean, what are the odds of like you just randomly get snatched by a car and they steal your kidney? It doesn't happen.
Not really.
Not
here
very
as
big,
much.
but it
Honestly,
happens.
talking about like just snatching kidneys, the movie. I mean, it has nothing to do with snatching kidneys, but 8 Pounds with Will Smith. Is it called 8 pounds or 11 pounds?
Besides the point, it's a
It's
measurement of
it's a
weight.
pounder. It's a pounder.
There's some measurement of weight here in this movie title.
Who's getting pounded?
No, I mean it's about him like laying in the bathtub and.
Getting pounded.
But he doesn't cut his kidney out.
No,
That's pretty
you're right.
savage.
Actually, no, he just dies in the bathtub after getting the box jellyfish.
God damn, he's in some depressing movies. Next, he's washing himself in sinks one minute. He's fucking White House is getting blown up the next minute. And he's cutting his own kidneys out. My God,
Dude, that
get a
movie was so
positive role, man.
Yeah, I could only watch Pursuit of Happiness that one time, and I was like, all right, I watched it. Now I'm good.
Oh, dude. But I'm pretty sure it's
it
7.
was such a like.
But I'm pretty sure it's called 7 pounds. 7 pounds pretty sad.
7 pounds. That's what it is.
Yeah, and it's a pretty sad. Well, it's a good movie to begin with, and it's all sad.
That's what I'm saying. Like about the Pursuit of Happiness. Like I watched that movie because he's just like struggling the entire time. It is probably the most stressed I've ever been watching.
man,
and I'm just like,
Oh man, and like when he gives that $5 out for like the cab or whatever
yeah,
it was,
yeah, dude.
and he really needed it, but he give it anyway
yeah, dude.
to like suck his boss's ass.
Yeah, man, I don't know. Like, I've never been so stressed out and like so relieved whenever a movie was over. Like,
And then I don't know
enjoyed
why
it, but,
like
God
right
damn.
after that scene, like they were like someone's like banging on the bathroom door, like they're trying to like sleep in the bathroom.
Yeah, come on, I gotta go next. It's my turn. Like,
It's
yeah,
my turn. I've been in a truck all day.
The one I Am Legend
that's another one.
when he
man.
was having to choke out his dog.
Oh, dude, that was brutal.
Like, bro, I didn't.
He gave his fucking dog the cross face
I've never
right there. I
really
was like,
understood why people love that movie so much.
it's amazing.
It's not that good.
You need to rewatch it.
I've
Dude,
watched
it's
now
it
that
better,
you've
better
kinda
than any
matured.
movie you have ever made.
Got him.
I don't know, man. That sex tape with your girlfriend was pretty damn good.
Ding.
Oh,
Buzz.
dude, I saw it. Performance was weak.
Oh man, dude. Hey, dude, speaking.
That was the longest
Oh,
5 minutes of your
man.
life,
Hey,
man.
Dude, you didn't have a full 100%er, man. You was rocking about 85 the whole
Hell
time.
yeah.
I seen
I don't know if that's really a slide against me or a slide against your girlfriend.
Damn. Let's go many
I don't know what
directions.
it is.
Hey, speaking of weird, sweaty, sexual stuff. so we got a buddy. I'm not gonna name.
Barry doesn't have a girlfriend. This is just us fucking with it.
Yeah, we're fucking with him.
No, it's completely serious.
But so
Absolutely.
this is very disgusting if you know the guy. But he's a good friend of mine and Spencer's and the whole gang. And anyway, we all masturbate like peasants. And I know we talk about masturbation every podcast, but it's gonna come up, people. If you don't like it, flip the fucking channel. No,
And
don't
there
really.
went the rest of our viewership.
Okay. So anyway, so while
Like,
we're
don't tempt me with a good
all,
time.
all 4 of them just signed off.
so while we're manding the turnips using our hands, masturbating like all the peasants we are, we got a buddy who's got a fleshlight, and apparently he wedges that bad boy in the sofa, strips down naked, drinks some Heinekens, and just fucks the shit out of someone.
exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, this dude sent in the chat this like some kind of like pocket pussy, like high end I've never seen in my life. It's double ended. It has a vagina on one end and an asshole on the other.
It goes back
it-
and forth and rotates.
Yeah, rotates, goes back and forth, vibrates, does everything under the sun.
the motherfucker has a
And then it
built-in
op-
safe
and then
word.
it And then it opens down the middles for easy cleaning, you know?
Oh.
And it's just like, and this dude straight up, I sleep on this couch, man. He told me this. He's like, you remember when I talked to you yesterday and I was kind of out of breath? And I was like, yeah, dude. So yeah, that
Out
new
of
pocket
breath?
pussy I bought or whatever. I was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I put it right there between them cushions right there, and I went to town.
Hey, let me
just beating
let
the
me
shit
paint
out
let
of
me
this
paint a picture for the audience right here. So our buddy here, he likes to drink his beer. All right, he's a bigger guy. He's got some muscles. He got a little bit of a little beer gutted. You know, likes to drink his beer. So you got to imagine, and he's married with kids. This is a funny thing. So while like his wife is
Getting very detailed there.
picking up the kids from school or whatever, this son of a bitch is over there just sweating
fucking the shit out of
fucking
this
the shit out of that couch. Just, my wife walks in. What the fuck? And he's like, oh God, let me finish.
He's like, get the fuck out of my house!
Oh man.
Oh,
Call his
man.
wife like, hey, band practice over at 4:45, right? Right.
that man's like pumping and slapping the fucking seat
That
cushions.
man be like put at the top of the seat cushion. That'd be upside down on his couch, turned all the way, just like big naked fat man up there, just sweating, rolling in them things.
Oh man.
I'll tell you what,
No, just-
I ain't never sitting on that couch next time I
Hey,
go
like,
there.
is that what's that meme of Danny DeVito?
Oh.
He's like butt naked, like falling out of the couch upside down. That's how that man fucks that couch.
Oh
dude.
man, dude.
You gotta
Fucking
help me,
ceiling
Charlie.
fan in the living room, picking up pubic hair, just fucking blowing them all over.
Oh, yeah.
It's
I
all
always
over the
wonder
place.
why that couch smells weird when I sleep on it.
Oh
bitch
man.
He blames it on the dog, man. That ain't that dog.
That bitch smells like chlorine and Doritos. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
man.
A couple of Cheeto stains in the cushions, man.
Yeah, a little bit of like a locker room. You know, there's a bunch of ass sweat, belly sweat for him. Oh my god.
Oh man.
I love that man. Shout out to Weston. Oh, leave that shit in.
Yeah, he'll be like,
Oh no, he's gonna hate y'all.
oh man. And
Hey,
that's
man.
how we lost our vocalist.
Yeah. Oh, y'all just got super detailed. Everybody knows now.
No, it didn't matter, man. We knew who it was before you started talking about it. Oh man, when you said
That
sweaty
dude-
fat guy.
That's a him and his fucking man fur, dude.
Oh, that's a furry
For the
guy.
gay community that listens, that's a bear if you ever saw one.
That's a bear, brother.
He's definitely a power bottom.
Barry's using these terms
I took
he
no
learned
part
that
in
one
this
night at the
vlogging.
bar.
We saw that guy. All right, Russell. We didn't bring this up the other day.
We haven't brought it up since.
All right,
we
look.
just let it roll.
All right, so the other day we was at the grocery store and we ran into that guy
I was
we
with
met
him.
at the bar.
I was
All
with
right.
y'all.
And he was cool, you know, and he was telling us about all his sexual endeavors and, you know.
Sexual
He's like,
endeavors.
for the people that have been sticking with us, the guy that offered us the golden shower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy.
Yeah, the guy who wanted to get peed on.
Hold on, is this like a separate occasion or is
Yeah,
this
it happened like
yes.
2 days ago.
No,
Oh,
like the other
wow.
day, like me and Spencer at the Walmart, you know, just
And
getting,
And
Russell?
Russell was there.
and Russell was there, and we're just out grocery shopping. We're in the produce section, and the guy's like, "Hey guys, how it's been?" We're like, "Oh, what's up, dude?" I'm like, you know, dapped him up.
Yeah.
Dapped him up, and he's like, "Oh man, that's a lot of groceries. What are y'all doing? Having a party? Like trying to get invited over to the house?"
Yeah.
He's like, definitely trying to get invited.
Trying to
He's
get
like-
invited?
We're like, "Nah, man, we're just getting groceries." He's like, "Oh, you guys live together?" I was like, "Well, me and Spencer do." And
He's like, Russell's still married.
and like Russell's like, "Well, I'm still married." And he's like, "Oh man, I'm glad that's working out," or whatever he said.
No,
blah,
no,
blah,
that's
blah.
not how. When he said, he was like, "Oh, you're still married?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, okay." I was like,
Damn, I really want to pee on your chest.
And and then
"Ain't
he's like,
nobody pissing on me. Let me get that record straight. Ain't none of you Joes pissing on this ugly mug."
Well, first of all, he wasn't worried about pissing on us. He was
he
worried
wants to
about
get,
us
he
pissing
wants to
on
get
him.
peed on.
And either way, I ain't with the pissing, man. Pissing belongs in the urinal on
Yeah.
the cakes that's been there for like 3 weeks.
You ever
Dude,
pee on
all
a
right.
girl in the shower, man?
Dude,
Mark
you
your
ain't,
territory?
Russell, if you're not into wet work, it's okay.
Yeah, I do.
Dude,
But
how often does this go
no, I'm
down?
respectful. I
dude,
pee
people
down
get
the
peed
drain.
on all the time, man.
Apparently, dude, man. I'm
Every
sitting
day, man. There's someone in your hometown getting peed on right now.
Here, yeah, man. Here I am, missionary eye to eye, rubbing the hair back, twiddling the ears. Meanwhile, people are just peeing on each other.
Absolutely.
And I was like, that's not very Christian of them.
Yeah.
Oh man, holding hands, peeing on each other.
Oh yeah, so
All right.
Like a
go
sex
on with
cult.
that story.
Yeah. So I mean, it was kind of a cringy conversation because he's like very like we're just trying to do our shop, and he's like, you just want to keep talking to us and
He
talking
keep
to us.
inviting himself over.
Yeah, he is definitely just trying to get us to say like, hey man, you should come over, so he could like come over and like,
Talk about more
Yeah.
sexual things with us.
yeah, but hey man, you want to step out on the balcony and pee on me? I'm like, no man. You know what I mean? Like, but
Tempting, but I'm gonna have
That'd
to
be a damn
pass.
good place to do it.
yeah, I mean, less cleanup out
Maybe
there.
y'all should consider being like a version of the dominatrix, or what are they called?
Yeah, a dominatrix.
Dominatrix.
Yeah, kind of sad.
But,
weird.
I'd kick a dude in the balls. Like, if
but
I got
no,
paid,
it's-
Oh no! If some dude want me to kick him in the balls,
Kick the shit out of
like bare ball sack, I'll do it
I'll
for any
step
kind of
on
money.
some
I'll do
nads
it for
with
$1.
high heels. I'll do it.
Nah.
I'll do anything.
That's kind of funny. I
I
mean,
just feel things.
Johnny Knoxville did it. Just I can do it.
But all right, guys.
I don't know if John
and
Knoxville's
we had
the
like
best
this
role model.
like conversation with the guy and everything. It got a little weird and got a little, it wasn't weird, but he was just very assertive. We don't care what your sexual orientation is or anything like that. We'll hang out with you regardless. Dude was really cool that one night, and then it just kind of we ran into him again.
Well,
It
there's
was just
only
like-
so many times
it
he can
was-
talk about how he wants us to like butt
yeah,
fuck the shit out
but
of
he
him
was
before
just
we're
being
"All
like
right,
over the
dude."
top. Like,
All right, buddy.
yeah, we are straight guys, and we don't mind hanging out with you or nothing like that. Like that's cool, man. We're just having a good time.
Just gotta explain ourselves real fast. Hold on.
No, well, I mean, I don't want to.
After the 12th sexual offer, you're like, all right,
Yeah,
man,
yeah,
this
but
is-
he
this
was
is
just
growing
really,
old.
really pushing it, and I was like, you know what, we're not gonna hang out with this guy anymore. You know what I mean? He really
fair.
wants us to pee on him.
Yeah.
And
Can you
like,
imagine like giving him just like a fake address? And
Oh,
it just
that
shows
wouldn't
up
do
to
that.
that person.
No.
wouldn't do
That'd
that.
be like
I'm
it'd be like
not
the
gonna lead
fake
him
number.
on, man. If I'm gonna tell him I'm gonna pee on him. But I'm just not.
But I'm a firm believer in
just
the N word.
Non-confrontational. Don't know how to let him down.
But no, and
Like
like,
a little
so we
switcheroo
like
wrestle.
literally just like finished our conversation with him, and just went straight over like picking out some asparagus. Like, man, this looks like some good healthy asparagus. We're gonna buy this, whatever.
Speaking
like,
of asparagus, that's probably his food of choice before that happens.
Oh, get that.
and like the funniest thing is we never brought it back up. Like, we just continued our
Yeah,
shopping
like we
spree.
left it. We didn't even talk to each other about it. We just like, all right, well, I need some pizza sauce. You know? We get these pickles. Now, what aisle is the pickles on?
Oh man, like, oh,
Blue
did you get the
past-
chicken, Spencer? Like, it's like just went right on to the next thing. Like, never even like second guessed it. Never brought it up of like how like this guy was sexually coming on to us at the Walmart or nothing like that.
So hold
And
on,
just-
how'd y'all end the conversation?
Hey, I gotta
Knuckle bump.
I'll
We
let you-
knuckle bumped out.
Yeah, we just knuckle
Okay.
bumped. And I said, well, I was just like, well, all right, man, good to see you. We got to get back, finish this grocery shopping. It's all right, man. We'll see you around. You know, it's just how you do it.
Yep.
It's simple. You know, be straight, direct. Hey, I've got shit to do. I ain't got
No,
time
I
to
just
talk
want
to
to
you.
know if it was like kind of like awkward trying to leave. If he like kept on trying to.
It
No,
was-
no, he did. No, we tried leaving like 3 times and he just
Oh, okay.
kept on.
Yeah, that's the kind of details
he
I
had
want
the
to know.
persistence of a really old person that doesn't have a lot of people talk to him. You know, it keeps bringing you reeling in, bringing you reeling. Kind of that kind of vibe.
Oh, like the old guy that tried to get Lindsay wanted Lindsay to give him a birthday cake.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was
Dude, he still calls every day.
still calls.
Does he really?
Every single day, man. That is the weirdest old guy I ever met.
Did we
Maybe
talk
he's
about that on the
lonely.
podcast?
Yeah, we talked about it. The
I
Golden
thought we
Corral date. It's in
Yeah, it
the
was a golden
previous
corral day.
episode.
That's right. Yeah.
Look it up, people.
But oh yeah, that old dude, he calls every day. And no, he doesn't want to talk to any of the guys that work there. He just wants to talk to any of the girls. He'll run through the list like, oh, Lindsay, Ashley, Roe. Oh, he's like, what's that other girl's name? And I'm like, the one that works every now and then. He's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, Rita? And he's like, yeah. He's like, well, is she available? I'm like, no, man, she works every now and then. And he'll be like, is there something I can do for you? I was like, well, I just wanted to tell him that, I was doing this and this and that. I'm like, oh,
So you just want to sit there and bullshit with people.
He
I was
really
like-
just
like-
wants to hold on conversation.
Yeah. I was like, so nothing like work related. and he's like, oh, well, I was just doing this and this and this. I'm like, all right. And I was like, well, you know what, man, you ought to come in and talk to him about it. You know what I mean? I was like, you might just come on in, man. I was like, have a good time. I'm like, all right, well, I'll be up there in a little bit. And he'll come up there.
To be fair, like it's kind of sad. He probably
Yeah.
really doesn't have anybody.
No, he's probably lonely.
Yeah, and so you kind of look for friends in different places.
You're over here
Like,
busting
you ever
his
think about
balls.
that? Like, let's say you packed up right now and left by yourself.
But
Move to
if I
Nebraska.
did that,
And
if,
move
if,
to-
if I moved to Nebraska,
Well, I'll say as an old man.
if I moved to Nebraska as an old man, first of all, if I go somewhere and I'm like, all right, hey, these people were nice to me, I'm not going to call them 3 to 4 times a day trying to get someone on the phone and then do it every single day.
Yeah, I mean, there's a level of like mental instability there, but I'm just saying, just in general, like that doesn't make it not sad.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
Honestly,
it's
hopefully,
sad.
hopefully by the age that we're like 60, 70, 80, they'll have better things than the yacht club.
Yeah, I'm assuming we're all
Alright.
like 60 and 70. We're just going to be fucking sitting in our wheelchairs. Michael's going to be a vegetable, and we're just going to be fucking
Wheeling
hanging
him
out,
around.
fucking talking shit about how, I guess Michael's going to be able to hear us.
I
but
mean,
he's not
Michael's
gonna
gonna
be
be
able
a vegetable, and we're just gonna use him as like a coat rack.
to- Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And we're just going to be talking shit to him, and he's just
Bro,
gonna
my
be in his
knees
fucking mind.
already popped, my toes, everything. Every time
And,
I've been
and
down.
we're just going to be talking to him, just talking shit, and he's not going to be able to do anything back. We're just going to be talking mad shit.
It'd be great to Dude, it'd be great to be friends with a vegetable, dude.
Oh,
Like for
man.
real, you just like do whatever you want.
Oh my gosh.
What are you? We're not
You
having
just
this
do whatever you
conversation.
want? What do you mean?
We're not having
Yeah.
this.
Whoa.
They just spit
you
on
can-
his face.
Yeah, you can do all that, man. You just have a good old time.
move his head.
We are not
Exactly.
having this conversation.
Yeah, turn it up.
Vegetables belong in Campbell's Chunky Noodle Soup. We're not talking about this. All right.
No, man. When you're sitting here talking about Michael being a vegetable, just
That's
like,
different.
Just talking shit about your friend, in front of him,
We do that all the
pushing
time.
him down the stairs.
What does that give you? Like just some sick power trip?
Yeah,
No,
that's what I'm
no,
saying,
but
like,
no, but
your
like
friend.
Michael's gonna do the same thing off like Dumb and Dumber, where he's just like pretending to be a vegetable for like 4 years, and then just like one day,
Because
like we're
Michael
all
is
gonna be
the type
really
of guy
sad.
to take jokes way too far.
Yeah, we're all gonna be like really sad, like out
mean?
there in like in a garden, And Michael's, we're all like being really sad, like, oh man, this is it. It was the last time I can come see you. And he's like, oh, I gotcha. We're just all like,
Then we yank his catheter out.
Oh, on a mighty big catheter.
I ain't even going to deflate the balloon on the inside. Just pull that thing straight out.
oh.
Nice. Oh, dude. Speaking of
Oh
chemicals.
man, speaking of pee.
Barry, why are you rubbing your nuts? You've been rubbing your balls for like 20 minutes, man. It's weird.
I mean, Jay has that rash cream for you. I mean, we talked about that at last.
I'm not-
Yeah, but you
Dude.
bought it.
No,
I'm rubbing my
original.
I
nuts,
borrowed
man.
it from
I have
him.
hairy thighs. Fuck y'all.
That's nothing to do with you rubbing your nads for like 20 minutes. You've just been sitting there tweaking them, twirling them. I'm like, what are you doing?
It's like
Dude.
that's like you can't really like
Well,
scratch
first-
your nuts unless you like pinch it between your like index finger and your thumb. You just kind of have to like rub the skin back and forth.
Sometimes you just gotta like grab it with the
Yeah.
nail.
Yeah,
Like,
you
get
can't
that
really
one
like
little
itch
spot.
like you do like your leg or something. You got to kind of like really grab the sack, just rub it back and forth
Sound like
like
you're
this.
picking fleas off that bad boy.
Dude, fuck you, dude. Don't you worry about my nuts, dude.
So I was
Dude, I'll
talking,
fucking throw them on your forehead. They'll get stuck. They'll get stuck on
That
that
old
fucking
frog
dump.
tongue sitting right there on your forehead, dude.
Oh man, like old silly hand. If I were to get
Yeah,
this
you
picture
just
over here
got
with
that
some
shit from
fucking.
the gift shop. Just throw
Oh,
it at you
there
on
he
the
is. Picture over here with
bus.
some Pam. Get him off, man.
I'm going to remind the audience, this is a bald guy making fun of another bald guy. Like, he's just as bald as I am when he's talking.
Yeah, but he's
shit.
wearing a hat.
Yeah.
That's true.
So
Oh,
the hat
man.
is a nice buffer for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what's Michael trying to say? We've been like interrupting like
I
six
know,
times.
man. I've been just like tripping up on my words, trying to interject these thoughts that are in my head. Is it my
You gonna
turn?
keep talking about it? You gonna be about
Yeah,
it?
man. No, we were talking about the catheters. It reminded me, I was talking to Jay today, getting personal with him on the phone because we're on the phone for like 6 hours out of the day.
He said you only talked about a week. He's been sad about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's got that new,
Yeah, he's got that guy. He's
that new
training.
guy with him.
But the guy took my job.
He, I know, right? I was like, why are they firing Spencer? But they just hired this new guy to do pulls. It's like, yeah, okay.
I guess I'm just a bad employee.
Yeah,
I
he
guess.
is.
You never
It's
know.
probably his attitude.
Yeah. Well, you're getting butt fucked by a company. It's kind of hard not to have a bad attitude.
So I was getting personal with him, and I was like, hey, what's like the worst pain that you've ever physically felt or like emotionally felt? And he's like, well, we just started getting onto like the physically like part. And honestly forgot what he told me. But when we were talking about catheters, when I shattered my ankle, we were talking about this.
When you were talking about catheters, I just
Yeah, no,
What's
because
the most like emotional pain?
no, they
you
ended
ever
up
felt,
putting like
bro?
a catheter in my leg. It was like one of the first time that they ever done it, like up in Oregon. Anyways, when I shattered my ankle, it was like in PE, and I was going out for like the catch, and this guy landed on my ankle and whatnot, and I didn't really even feel it like pop or like break. I just thought I like sprained my ankle or whatever, and I like lifted my leg up and my toes like facing the ground.
Oh, with that
Dak
Dak
it's
Prescott.
just, it's
Oh,
it's
yeah.
one of those twisted ones, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, and I'm kind of like freaking out. I don't even feel like the pain, but it's like windy that day, and you can just see it kind
Like
of
kind of
swinging.
flopping in the wind.
Yeah, it was just flopping. I was like, oh my gosh. So I leaned like back on my stomach, and it had just rained like the day prior, and our PE teacher, she comes over, and she's like freaking out, and I'm just like laying on the ground. And they called the ambulance, but they only called it in as like a code 1. Apparently, it was supposed to be like a code 3. I think code 1's like vomiting and like just don't
They calling
feel
you
right.
a bitch.
Yeah, they're like,
Oh,
oh,
it's on official channels, man.
Some guy just shows up with a mop and pine saw. Like, what the fuck you gonna do?
yeah. It took like an hour and 30
You
minutes.
break the mop in half, turn it into a splint. You know.
There you go.
There you go.
My mom beat the ambulance there, and she was like, she started getting
To be
really
fair,
upset
your
about
mom
that.
lived like 2 streets over from the school.
No, this is up in Oregon.
I know. I'm just messing
Oh. She was actually at work, like quite far away.
Did
I
y'all
think-
still wait on the ambulance? Or you just getting them?
No. So I was still
I
on the
mean-
ground, like waiting on the ambulance. Well, the position I was in, like I was kind of like
call an
frogged
ambulance
out.
for a broken ankle.
Huh?
I want to call an ambulance for a broken ankle, but go on with your
Oh,
story.
yeah, you're right.
It's a man with no health insurance
big
there.
deal. So I'm like sprawled out, like frog, basically, where my legs are just like kind of, I don't know, froggish, like laying down on my stomach, and I start developing this cramp, like basically in my groin, like in the inside of my thigh, and the pain that I'm getting from this cramp is like far greater than what I'm feeling from my ankle, and so I'm like basically like crying.
Son, take your mind off that
Yeah,
pain.
from this cramp. And she's like, my teacher, she's right beside me. She's trying to counsel me, and I was like, I'm getting cramps in my left leg, and she's like, okay, how can I help? And I was like, massage it out or something like that. And she's massaging my thigh higher, and I'm like, dude, it's like right up, like in the inside. And I mean, it's like the worst burn. Like, it hurt worse than my ankle that I just shattered. And I'm like, no, it's higher. And she's like, she's going a little higher. And I was like, it's higher than that. And she's like, I can't go any higher. And I was like, you gotta go higher.
You can. It's just illegal.
And I was like,
Michael's like rocking a 70% right now.
No.
He's like, just a little higher. It's like
I'm
10 more
in
seconds.
So much freaking pain because of this daggum cramp. And I was like, in my head, I was like, I know how it seems. Like, I was well aware of just like everything that was
You were
going
pulling
on.
a Sandlot here. I know what you were doing. You
Yeah,
were pulling
dude.
a
Trying to make
Sandlot.
out with a lifeguard, man.
Yeah, dude.
No, it was like one of those just those awkward tension moments to where I'm in severe pain, but also aware of like how this looks. And I'm like, and she's like, what's wrong? And I'm like,
And you got to think this man's got a, he's got a thing
For a
going on here.
12-year-old, man.
I was like all at 12.
This chick's about 3 inches above his knee right here. Can't go any higher. 'Cause this man is just blopped right there on the side of his thigh, just putting all his weight over there and it's rolled over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and a nice pair of gym shorts, loose fitting, you know?
No, man, it was probably all inverted, just turtled.
Yeah, old Tommy Lee over here doing good for himself.
Oh man, dude.
So, what was Jay's biggest point of emotional or physical
That's what I'm trying
turmoil?
to think.
Go ahead and blast out
Yeah,
his
go
private
blast Jay.
Yeah,
conversation.
Jay, he did something with like, he was riding a dirt bike. Yeah, that's what it was. And
Oh, a dirt bike one.
Okay,
Sounds
so
like
you know
cool.
like the steps, and they have those little jagged, like where you plant your
The foot
feet.
pegs?
Yeah, the foot pegs, whatever. I don't know my terminology about dirt bikes, man. I'm not a dirt bike expert.
You know about some pegging. Don't bullshit. Let's get it rolling.
But he said, I don't know. I think his foot slipped off and his shin went right to it, and I was like, ooh, that's lovely.
It's not a good story at all, man.
Yeah, no, y'all asked him.
It's a waste of my ears.
I'm glad y'all brought it up because at first I forgot it, and he'd probably, man, dude, you already forgot what I told you. I was like,
It's the worst thing that man's ever went through, man. That dude's got a fucking cake-ass life.
bro, I don't know. Shins are pretty sensitive.
That man his mom makes brownies every night, don't she? Fucking brownies and cookies, fucking ice cream cake, like all fucking
He's
cool
like, cook
shit.
breakfast every morning, pancakes and bacon, because they got that kind of time.
Yeah, dude. Just that big-ass breakfast, all he does is gets a sip of orange juice, heads out for the day. Like, his mom done made fucking everything you can think of, like in a movie.
Like a big, nice spread, everything.
Got a good spread.
Oh, man. So, today, I work at a pawn shop. Some dirty motherfuckers come in there, right? And this sweet old lady comes in, right? And I'm like, hey, ma'am, how can I help you? And she has, like, this felt sack of, like, some shit, right? It's like, it's kind of like a Crown Royal bag, but bigger, and it doesn't say Crown Royal on it. But it's something very similar to that. And she comes up. I'm like, oh, I kind of greet her a couple feet away. And I'm like, oh, man, what can I help you with today? And she's like, oh, I need to make a pawn. And I'm like, all right, ma'am, I'll be happy to help you out. I got my customer service voice on. And then, she gets a little closer. I was like, man, this bitch smells like piss.
Barry's customer service voice sounds like he's talking to a puppy.
And I have a great customer service voice for your info.
Hey, how are you doing?
No, you sound like Zach Galifianakis when you do that. Well, hey y'all, you just going.
Zach Galifianakis in the campaign
Yeah,
or whatever.
And well, she's like, this is everything got left upon. And she's like, I've been in here a couple days now. And I'm like, all right, well, what can I help you with? And she's like, well, I got some knives and a watch. I'm like, well, let me see what you got. Let me see if I can help you out. And she has like this felt sack. It's not a very big sack, but it's a little, it's a decent sized sack.
It's an average size sack.
Most of America has that type of sack.
And I'm like, dude, and all I can think of is like, all right, she's across the counter. Like our counter's probably, it's 3 or 4 foot, whatever. You know what I mean? No, it's not 4 foot. It's not 4 foot. It's about 2.5.
Were you drunk?
That is quite the difference.
And I was like, man, all I can do is just smell this lady right now. She's old. She's probably
She's pissed herself.
She smelled like
she's
mothballs.
65, 70. But I was like, man, this lady smells really, really bad.
It was like mothballs.
And I'm
wasn't
like,
it?
this is horrible. And she starts pulling stuff out this sack, right? And she has like a bunch of like field knives. You know what I mean? Like
Rambo type shit.
Interesting thing for one that smells like piss to have.
no, she has like a bunch of field
smell like
knives. And
pee?
she has like some watch. And like actually, she pulled out like 2 or 3 field knives, whatever. And
The
then
ones you pick up at the gas station.
and then like she's like just like like a field knife, as in like one you put on your belt loop, not like
Oh,
it's like
okay.
a knife and a sheen. And like none of them like super big. They were all probably 6-inch little blades, or whatever. And you know, had a little
You hear
handle,
that?
whatever.
6 inches isn't big.
Oh, fucking A, right it is. If it ain't, I'll be damned. Oh, man, whole life's a lie. But I'm like, all I can think of like, man, this lady smells bad. Like, let me get her in and out of here as fast as possible. I want to help her out because she's old, and, you know, whatever she needs. You know, I'm trying to help her out because I'm a nice guy. And I'm the nicest guy you ever fucking met, dude.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm like, you know, she starts setting a couple of them out. And I see a bunch of little roaches, like,
Oh, hold on, roaches fall
Just scurry amongst us.
no. She has just sack.
So she's like the dude off Men in Black when
Yeah.
he goes, and she's like, "I'm looking for a cat." That fucking, and there's like, "I'm looking for about this big," and then like this fucking shit's crawling out of sleeves, and the
Dude,
dude,
like, no, dude. She's like setting these knives on the table, and like, dude, like roaches are just coming out the sheens and everything. They're just spiraling out of there.
This is
and
Men in
she's just
Black.
like a big one comes out, right? She's like pulling. There's like 3 or 4 knives,
oh,
and like she's just like, back, like smacks one, right?
Like Men in Black.
Kills
Yeah.
it.
Barehanded.
don't do that.
No, it's barehanded, right? And like smacks it. Like she's like midway through our counter right here, so it's like 1.5 feet. She just
That's
like
so gross.
leaves it under her hand and just rolls it all the way down the counter.
Like she's wiping a boogie that nobody's gonna see.
You know what's hilarious about that? She's probably on so many blood thinners, her hand probably like swolled up from all the busted blood vessels.
No, but she just straight
like bruised.
smacked it. Didn't skip a beat. Kept talking and like pulled something else out. And I was like, "Oh, is that everything, ma'am?" She's like, "Yeah, it's everything." I was like, "Well, like this is kind of stuff I really can't take." And I'm just watching. Dude, there's like 8 fucking roaches just. Just fucking all, just like fucking like just going into our cabinets, man, just like going everywhere. And I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And
Next thing you know, Will Smith comes busting in there, huh?
just
Look into this light.
just forgetting everything. But no, I was like, well, ma'am, I was like, I'm sorry, I can't really help you out today. And she's like, oh, okay. And like she just like goes, like gets out, you know, hops in her car and just leaves. I'm like, oh god. And I was like sprayed a bunch of Lysol right there. And it's like just
Make your
wiped it all
skin
down.
crawl, man. Like,
Oh, dude. I was like,
boo.
how nasty, like. and
Honestly,
this
that's some gangster shit. Like a freaking roach just fell out. She slapped it, just nonchalant.
It would
Still
be-
carried conversation.
No, she didn't even care. She was just like smack.
Hey, it'd been funny if she kept eye contact with the whole time and just slapped the fuck out of it, like.
Then you were in her world. She was in your mind. You
Oh,
know?
yeah.
Yeah. You wouldn't have been able to leave eye contact with her.
Oh, she
man.
used the old roach trick. Old lady
Dude,
roach
you know
trick.
the craziest thing, like, so you know we live down south, man. Like we don't see a lot of nicer things in life. You know what I mean? Like, we got a Taco Bell. You know what I mean? I was like, we're not living like the nicest life over here. You know what I mean? And the other day we had like,
I got a Popeyes right down the road. What are you talking about?
oh snap! I'm like, man, I got gas at Sefco the other day, man. I was fucking pinkies out. No, dude, we had this guy come in the other day, and he had like an iPad, whatever. He's like, hey man, I need $400. Well, it's $1,000 iPad. Like we can't get you $400, man. We give 20% of retail. This is what we can do. Blah blah blah. And he's like, all right, that's cool, man. Like, walks outside, hops in his Tesla, and just drives away.
Damn.
And I'm like, this motherfucker got a Tesla? And like,
Giving you shit about not getting money.
and I was like, this motherfucker got, which, I mean, a Tesla, I mean, what's a base model? What, 60, 70 grand?
$70K probably.
And I was like,
Oh
this
no,
dude,
Andrew just got one. It was like 60,000.
Andrew
He
got
got the
one?
Model Y. Yeah, dude, that thing is nice.
Yeah,
I
which
sat
is,
in one the other day, and the interior felt like it was just plastic. I didn't like it.
you
Dude.
said one the other day? Oh, at CarMax?
At CarMax, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, one of the nice like coupes they have.
Yeah,
I
it's
forget-
actually pretty large. Like it has a camping like setting for the seats to like fold back. And
Yeah, I mean it was really spacious, but like the seat
Panoramic
material,
roof.
it just felt like a cheap baseball.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
His felt nice. I didn't see anything wrong with his. Like he had wood grain across the dashboard. It's pretty nice.
But I don't know, it just kind of blew my mind. Like, someone like needs like $400, like, but you're driving like a car that's probably costing
You never know, man.
But I mean, it
sometimes
is.
appearances are everything to some people, and they just put themselves in a position to where they can't afford it, but they get it anyways.
Yeah.
It just kind of blew my mind. I was like, man, this guy.
Dude, so while we're on the old lady topic, so I have a family member of mine who's probably about 45, and this family member kind of crosses the boundary a little bit of things you should, tell your in-law, right? And shit gets kind of weird with him, and I just kind of listen because I have no choice because sometimes I get stuck with him and he just talks my ear off.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, he's like 45, and I'm in Mississippi one day, and we're hanging out on the front porch, and there's like a family event going on. Me and him are chilling, and we're rocking in some chairs out in Mississippi like Southerners love to do. And he goes, "Hey man, so I'll tell you about there's this old lady up the street." When he says old lady, I'm thinking he means like there's this girl I'm talking to, because I said, "Old lady, like, oh, you hollering at her like old?" And he goes, "Yeah, she probably about 78, 80. I was like, "Oh, okay, cool, man." He goes, "Yeah, I've been blowing her back out." And I was like, "Oh, God." and then
0 to 100 real quick.
Yeah, he just hits me. I'm like, "Oh, here we go." One of his
It's like off like the interview. It's like the old guy's like,
he just hits
roll
me
up in the power chairs like at the fucking convalescent home. He's like, "Oh yeah, these bitches getting down." Like
So I'm sitting there, and
I got
I'm
one
like,
for you after this.
I'm like, okay, yeah. So she's blowing her back out, huh? That's just cool, man. And he's like, "Yeah, man. She's a real freaky bitch too. I'll be pulling her hair." And she's like, "Slap my ass, daddy," and all this. I'm like, "This lady's 80? Where'd she learn that?" I mean, they didn't do that back then. People didn't have
People
sex.
got down in the 60s, man.
People didn't have sex in the 50s. What are we talking about?
that's someone's grandma.
Dude, speaking of that, I was like, so growing up, I grew up with my grandparents.
Not eating her snickerdoodle.
Yeah. But anyway,
Mammals?
so I grew up with my grandparents, and they raised me, all the way till I ended up moving with my dad when I was 18. And my dad'd be around and all that stuff. I'd stay at his house, every other weekend type thing. But the thing is, he's my dad, but he was kind of,
He had a chronic masturbation issue, so he.
Anyway, so speaking of things like you just don't want, you're not ready for.
Look like a baseball player with that forearm.
But anyway, speaking of things you're not ready for when somebody, like a family member tells you, which is every one of my family members that listen to this podcast, they don't want to hear anything I have to say. But
Sorry, Uncle Mike.
yeah, sorry, Uncle Michael.
What did he tell you about the last
But
one?
anyway, so I didn't really have like a very buddy relationship with my dad. He was my dad, and I talked to him a little bit. It was still awkward when I went over there every weekend. Just kind of, he's just some dude's way older than me, and I'm just kind of hanging out with my step siblings. But anyway, so I ended up moving out when I started college, and then moved in with my dad and started staying with him. So he'd gone through a divorce, at the time. And so one day I'm sitting out there in the screen room, we still haven't even gotten on that level. Like, I've only been there like a couple weeks. I haven't gotten on that level to just be like hanging out and talking to each other in this manner. So I'm sitting there minding my business, just chilling. He comes out there in his like robe, probably not wearing a damn thing under it,
Nice.
And I'm just sitting there, and he starts up a conversation about work or something. The next thing you know, he just drops this on. He's like, "So I was fucking this chick the other day," and I'm like, "God damn it, Dad! I don't know you like that." And he's like, and I didn't say anything. I was just kind of like stunned. I was like, "Whoa, I'm just not ready for this." He starts telling me about like all this. So he's like, "Yeah, she was freaky. She did this, did that." Started telling me about his entire sexual exploit, and I'm just like, "Dude, like I just do not know you like that."
He's like a rim job isn't gay, right?
Yeah. He starts telling me all this stuff and just kind of like just ruining my childhood, like right there. And I'm like, "Dad," I was like,
See, when you're from the back, you really want to work that thumb in there. If you
Yeah.
get the right angle, you're like, oh God.
yeah. It was like we barely had like at the time
Like,
I
Dad,
barely,
you made cinnamon rolls this morning. Gosh.
exactly. I was like, "Dad, I barely even talked to him about like what we're having for dinner." You know what I mean? It was like,
He just hit you with that
and he
one.
just hit me with that just upside my head and like buried my face in it, and I was like, "Oh my God."
Nah, don't let
Dude,
Spencer
I talk
fool.
so much shit to your dad, man. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
But don't let Spencer fool you. He tucked his knees up to his chest and just held himself listening to it. Just rocking back and forth. "Dad, tell me more."
No, dude, I did straight up curl up a little. I straight up curled up a little bit. He said I was like sitting there like playing on my phone, doing something, just minding my business in the screen room, chilling.
Touching
And he's
himself.
still ranting. Man, I was
No, and
smacking
I
that
started,
bitch, spitting
he
in her
started
mouth.
saying it, and I just started wincing. I was like, "Ugh."
Oh, screen
and I
room. What did
started,
you
like,
the
I started,
pinkies
like,
out
leaning
kind of
over.
guy, man?
Started leaning over, kind of like holding my insides a little bit, trying to like get in that defensive position, type thing, like just when you're really uncomfortable.
Mike Tyson liver shot
and
coming
like
in.
your
Yeah,
hearing,
I just got liver shotted by all these like just unnecessary things. you
your
didn't have to tell
hearing
me.
starts ringing, going in and out. Then you just hear.
You hear that mosquito?
And I'll tell you something about WAP. You know what WAP is, son? You're like, oh.
It was like I said, the ears start ringing. It was like got hit with a grenade in Call of Duty, and like that, just like, bing. You have to like sit there and recover for
And
a
he's
bit.
just making the motions, and, you're like,
and then
oh.
you just hear like whenever you start to come to, you're just like.
I'm gonna tell you something.
And I hit her in
tell
the
you something
back,
about
and then I was
Spencer's
like
dad.
fucking her in the ass. I'm like, "God damn it, Dad! What the fuck is still going on?"
I'm gonna tell you something about Spencer's dad. 9 times out of 10, I see him, he's sweating. He's a sweaty dude, man. Got his glasses like tucked down on like the lower part of his nose.
Dude, you fuck with his dad too much. You'll walk in his house and he see him in like 2 weeks like, what's up, old man? He's just kind of sitting there looking like, and he'll come up and talk shit to your dad when he's like angry looking, like he's had a rough day, shit ain't going right. He started some home project and he had to stop because he don't have the tools or something. And Barry will come right up to him, he can smell it and start fucking with him. What's up, man? You get in the gym, man. Look at that gut you got going on.
Once you get rid of that car out there, man, I'll give you like $5,000 for it. It's like a $40,000 car. You know, like used or
and
whatever.
his dad just ain't got time for it. He's like, Arr. You want to work
dude.
Sunday? Come work for me Sunday.
Oh, dude, Spencer's dad hates me, but he secretly likes me.
Yeah, he said, he's like, you took him to the airport that one day, right? And you was like sitting there trying to like have a conversation with him. He didn't even like acknowledge your existence.
No, man.
Okay, so I'm
Dude,
gonna.
that's like twice already, man. I just took his dad to the airport one time. Like, didn't even want to fucking talk to me. So I just like, I'm like, oh, Mr. J, what's up? It's like just bullshit. And he's like just playing on his phone. I took him up to the Toyota dealership one day to pick his truck out from fucking getting it serviced. And I'm like sitting there like talking to him. It's like just act like everything I gotta say is just fucking shit. And I'm like, dude, it's like all he can do is complain about the fucking uncomfortable fucking seats in my car.
Well, he just gives it right back because all you do is drive by bitch him.
Yeah.
He's gonna drive by bitch you back.
We made up the term drive-by bitcher for Barry because me and Spencer was literally playing guitar the other day because we did some, we're in a band obviously and we're doing some photo shoots. And so we're playing guitar, and then like while we're playing guitar, you just hear Barry in the living room walk all the way up and down the hallway bitching. Y'all need to hurry up, man. Let me tell you something. Something's weird with this floor, man. Something's kind of steamy. Who left this water bottle up here? And he comes back there and he's like, man, y'all need to hurry up. That's not a good riff, man. Play it. I'm just like,
just trolling.
Get the fuck out of here, dude. And I looked at Spencer, like, how do you fucking live with this guy? My God. And
he carried that energy for the next 6 hours.
No, how long did you have to stay, Barry?
I carried that same energy, dude. These motherfuckers are like, oh, man, hey, we're going to go take pictures for the band at the farm.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm going to take them for you. No big deal. No one shows up on fucking time. We don't get where we're going on time.
What's
like,
new?
Man, still bitching.
still bitching.
Spencer's fault?
Like, we get to Loosedale at our buddy Weston's house, and fucking we're just sitting around waiting on fucking Boone. And, like, we was right about something.
Is that an inside joke?
Yeah, inside joke. Don't worry about it.
And, all right, so...
We'll tell you after.
We was right that fucking Boone was going to be late. And fucking, because he said, it was like, oh, I'm 40 minutes away. I was like, there's no fucking way he's 40 minutes away. When we're fucking 40 minutes away, and we got fucking Loosedale, and we're sitting at fucking Weston's house eating all his fucking mini corn dogs. Like, no fucking water. Like, we got a fucking Spencer's Farm another hour down the road.
And not to mention, when we get there and start taking pictures, like only a quarter of the pictures are serious band pictures.
Yeah,
we
like,
just start fucking around. Like we start taking pictures by this tree, and I put my claws up and I look back and toot the ass out. I'm like, "Urgh," and then you hear all my boys, "Yeah, you're ferocious." Ferocious.
And like, no one's taking these photos fucking seriously. So I'm over there wasting my time. It's like I get 2 days off a week. I want to fucking enjoy them. I'm over here fucking taking pictures of a bunch of.
Look,
fucking,
he's still bitching.
Hey, I
Fruit
want to tell Barry. I told you that's how it was gonna be.
And then
It
Barry.
was a damn good time, man.
It was a fun time.
For y'all.
And Barry
And that's
just.
why fucking
Barry.
Michael didn't go. Michael knew it was gonna be fucking bullshit.
It was gonna be trash.
Barry's like.
And
sitting
Boone
there.
brought his girlfriend. She took all the fucking photos.
That's true. And we're sitting there taking all these pictures, and Barry's like, y'all wasting my Sunday, man. Hurry up. And we're just like having fun. He's like, come on, let's get this.
They're like, oh, let me put on my fourth outfit.
No,
What do
you should have done one. where-
Russell's like,
where
what do
it
you
was
think
like-
about this shirt? Does it look too baggy on me?
You should have done one where like Barry was just far out in the background. It's just like Spot Barry.
No,
Just
you
so
can
he
hear
could be
you can hear him
involved.
in the back. He'll be like lagging behind us.
No,
like,
no,
"Fuck
I'm saying
this
for the
motherfucking
pictures."
bullshit. I'm telling you what, it's like we're out here in the goddamn middle of nowhere. I got no goddamn signal. I'm trying to get out here and take the pictures of these fucking idiots out here. I just can't handle it. I got to hit the gym. I got to get some food in me. I got to take a fucking piss.
Yeah.
You know,
He's just going, man.
just going. Ain't talking to nobody. Just fucking like bitching at God over here. You know,
He's just
It's
got like he's just like a battery. He just like somebody put
Just
that some bitch out of his
No, it's
misery.
the way that Barry manipulates y'all. So what he's doing is being the most obnoxious way he can be, which is just bitching at y'all, hoping that y'all just get tired of it and bring him home.
yeah, he's a fucking asshole.
We were supposed to leave at at the farm at 11. We didn't even leave our fucking house here in Mobile till fucking 11.
No, we're supposed to be at Weston's house by 11.
I can pull it up on the chat.
Yeah. Hold on. No, it was supposed to be at
We
11.
were late regardless. We fucked around a lot. we kind of
We're sitting there already, and Barry's still like barefooted as fuck, no shirt on. It's and they're bitching about us trying to get
Why
ready.
you got a shirt on?
Yeah, he's sitting there like, "Yo, motherfuckers, ain't we're trying to get the fuck out of here." And I'm sitting there like chilling, playing guitar, waiting on his dumb ass. And he's like,
Dude,
they're
well,
still
first
trying
of
to
all,
get a
I woke
shower.
up at 7 a.m. fucking on Sunday, and Spencer wasn't even fucking home. He
Yeah,
fucking stayed out some fucking where.
Oh, yeah.
He wasn't even home, so I went back to bed, and I didn't set my alarm. I was like, well, Spencer will wake me up when he gets here. He wakes me up at like fucking 10:45. I was like, hey, man, we fucking doing this shit.
I was there
Like,
at
you
9
can't
o'clock.
bitch at me for that.
I'll bitch you. You bitching all the time. It's like somebody's got to get some bitching in on Barry. God damn.
so one thing I know we got carried away with Barry's rants as he does when he gets to drinking.
Drive by bitches.
He'll make a good abusive dad one day. But
Dude, I'll beat the hell out of my kid.
so anyway,
Spilt the salt. Fuck.
we were talking about Spencer's dad earlier, and this was many, many, many years ago. And I know at the time he was single. So if anybody's listening, girlfriend, obviously this is a long time ago.
He ain't listening to this
Yeah,
shit.
ain't
She don't
nobody
even
listening
like
to that.
me.
But
Just
a long,
kidding.
She don't even like me.
but a long, long time ago, we were at a bar, and we were hanging out, and Spencer's dad. Again, this is one of those times where Spencer's dad just became one of the boys, and he's just hanging
He's
out.
fun
with
to
us.
hang out with, like when he's drinking and having a good old time. Like when like no work is involved and like no like connotations of like I owe him some shit or he thinks I owe him something. You know,
So,
type
Yeah.
thing.
so many years ago, we were in this bar, and this is one of those bars where like the girls get up on the thing and start dancing. You know what I'm talking about? They get up on the bar, start shaking their ass, whatever. And of all the people in there, Spencer's dad in there, with his dirty work shirt on, probably, got his glasses on, looking like a super dad.
Lucky
And
jeans.
And this girl, really attractive, pretty girl, looks at him and points him, like, to come here. And he fucking goes over there. She throws her ass back, and he just starts motorboating the booty. I'm like, my man. I was like, hell yeah, dude. This chick's like 22.
What was he doing? Was he just standing there, his arms just resting up on his stomach?
That's what you would think. Like, oh,
He's
shy reserve.
like sitting there standing like this, like glasses at the end of his nose, just looking through it, like between his glasses and
Dude,
his
no,
hat.
I tell you what.
That
every
is
time-
exactly
no,
what your dad. That is your
every
dad's
time I
look.
walk into the house, he's literally just standing there, using his belly of a desk to just rest his arm. He'd just be sitting looking at his phone.
No, but it's just so funny because like you're expecting him to be this shy, weird dude because like he's an older dude and a younger
Dad
boy.
gets down.
He gets down, and the girl called him out. He says, "All right, I'm about it," and he throws his head back and starts motorboating. She's grabbing his face, and I was like, "Oh my god, what a savage!" I mean, he'd have been born 20 years ago and didn't give birth to Spencer. He'd be one of us, dude.
Barry,
He'd be
I'm
right there with
surprised
the
you didn't
boys.
frame that.
Oh yeah,
That'd have been a
This was like
frame-worthy-
5 years ago, something like that. I don't know
Yeah.
when it was. It was a long
That was
time
long
I've
ago.
never partied with Spencer's dad. We've had a couple beers and like
we need
had a
to
drink or two.
get Spencer's dad out one of these days and go chill.
Well, I need to. Is like,
Yeah, every time we get him out, though, I get my ass slapped. He gets real friendly.
oh yeah, Dad gets real funny. Well, that's a good time. Like when we're out hanging out, we did drugs with him that one time.
Drugs.
Have you talked about that on the podcast yet?
No, I haven't. So like,
Oh jeez.
so me and Caitlin end up hanging out with Dad for Mardi Gras a couple of years ago. Daddy. But anyway, so we start hanging out with him. He's like, we're gonna go down, have a good time, drink. We start pre-gaming at the apartment and everything, and we take ourselves all the way out there. We done drink, a couple tumblers worth of vodka, right? It's to go to this older people bar downtown, and Dad's just one of those people that, for some reason, knows everybody or everybody knows him. Just most random people, they just know him. And I'm just like, all right, whatever, cool. So this guy, this sketchy dude, because Dad's worked in the shipyards, knows all kinds of druggies and all kinds of crazy people like that. And so one of these older guys that he used to hang out with, he pulls me to the side, starts talking to him, and then Dad pulls me and Caitlin to the side, and he's like, hey, this guy's got some edibles. Y'all trying to get down? I'm like, Dad.
I like what you're thinking.
It's like, Dad, you're my dad.
Yeah. And it's some
You're my
sketchy
dad.
dude, just kind of like toked out of his mind, just kind of like, eyes like half shut and everything, just like, I've got these gummy bears, right? And I'm like,
they're only 20
and
milligrams,
he's like, I've got 25 and 50s. And us being very marijuana ignorant in terms of dosages for all this stuff because we just don't ever do it.
We'll take the 50.
And we're like, nah, we're gonna go big, go home. We're already drunk as fuck,
crossfade it.
Oh my god.
But you've learned your lesson. I've been with you several times, crossfade it, and you've thrown up every time.
Or you
Yeah.
cry.
Continue.
But anyway, and so we're like, so Dad ends up getting these gummy bears from this guy, and he's like, all right, we're about to do this, and like, man, we did it.
Yeah, we did it.
And so
My dad. I mean, what do you want me to do?
Yeah.
Tell him
And
no?
the whole time you're thinking, this is my dad.
Yeah, it's
Hell
like
yeah.
I'm out here partying with my dad, having a good old time. And
There's
so,
nothing to worry about.
And so we eat these
He's finally
gummies.
gonna be proud of me.
Proud of me. He wanted to have a deep connection.
Yeah, he did. But anyway, so we were.
He did.
Anyway, we have me and my dad have a weird relationship. But anyway, so we eat these gummies, and the next thing you know, we go outside. The parade starts coming through, and then for a minute, I start feeling it start to kick in. I start looking around, all not really paranoid, but whenever you're already drunk and you already and you just your body starts moving kind of involuntarily. You start kind of looking around, start like staring at shit.
I know. I remember Caitlin saying this to me. I was like, "Oh my gosh!" You were like looking around all sketch, like,
Yeah.
what was that?
What was that noise? But anyway, and for about an hour, it was probably the greatest I've ever felt. Like the sun was brighter, just sounds were better.
Yeah.
Like everything was a good time. We're like, hey, the parade went through. Then we're like, all right, let's go get some food. We got to kind of calm this down because we hadn't eaten in a while. And then we're like, yeah, and we're all sitting there giggling, having a good time. And then like something happens, something snaps, and I'm like, fuck food. We got to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Because right at that.
Gotta
like,
rob a bank.
That's when the mule kicked.
No, yeah, that's when the mule kicked, or like I could feel it coming on. It hadn't kicked yet, but I just something like intuition. I knew it was like, no, we got to go.
You're gonna throw up.
Well, it's not that I was going to throw up. I was like, no, we're about to be fucked off our ass and out here down Mobile. Don't know what's going on. Don't know where we are.
Does anybody else hear that like the white noise right now?
I hear a mosquito.
Yeah,
is
it's just something. Anyway.
It's all right.
But anyway, I was like, nah, Dad, we got stuff. We can't do food. Caitlin's already over here just blabbing on, just talking to fucking nothing. Just talking. He's like, look at the fucking shadows. Just freaking out. I'm like, Caitlin, shut the fuck up. We got to get out of here. And we're like, we just let's go back to the RV park. So
what everyone is saying, like what you're saying here is you're a buzzkill.
Yeah.
no. Like we took a few more steps, and then the just pure tunnel vision kicked in, like where you couldn't see anything.
Oh, and your stepping is heavy.
Yeah, you're
You're
just stepping, and you're just like, I like grabbed Caitlin,
Left
and
foot.
she is like out of her mind.
Right
Like
foot.
Dad's fine. He's got 150 pounds on me. He's good to go. He's not doing too bad.
all that's resting right there in that fucking table, Michael Spock.
So this is like on a video game when you're about to die, and like there's that adrenaline mode that kicks in on the video
Yeah.
game. And
Heart's
tunnel vision.
thumping.
You
Yeah,
start-
and so it goes from like 150, just like having a good old time, down to negative 150, just like feeling like shit. And so I grabbed Caitlin. I have to like, she's trying to like get away, like just kind of like just in her own little world, just
get away from
everything's
you
going
because you're fucking creepy.
No, everything's just like going. She's like kind of like losing her mind. She can't shut her mouth. She's like freaking out, saying this, saying that, just mouth vomit. And Dad's back there just laughing like, hoo, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, man, whatever. You're about to feel like this here in a minute whenever it has to get through all that fat in your belly. And then, yeah. And so
Just trash talk
just
the
trash
man's
talking
belly.
him. But I've got this super tunnel vision, and I'm just like trudging, like bumping into people. I'm like, got her. She's like falling all around, like, goofy as hell.
Man.
And then I remember, we're trying to get to this RV park that's up under the overpass.
What is the
over
significance of the RV park? Are y'all saying there?
The reason why is because our buddy Brock and Caitlin, him and his family were over there, and I was like, okay, this is a safe place
So
to
to
be.
paint the picture for the audience, every Mardi Gras in downtown Mobile, there's like this little shanty town of RV campers under the interstate bridge. It gets pretty buck wild. Keep it rolling.
So anyway, we got a home base to get to, a place we can go where we'll be safe for a little bit. And so we start trudging our way over there. I can't see anything around me. I just have just laser fire. I got to get us out of here. And it's like a couple mile walk, in like downtown Mobile traffic, just thousands and thousands of people everywhere. And I remember,
Be sober in a couple miles.
no, dude, we weren't sober for about
There ain't
8
walking
more hours.
none of that off.
Nah, but anyway, and I remember, like, this is the type of mouth vomit that Caitlin was spewing. Just like everything she saw, she had just said something about it. Didn't realize she was doing it. She was like thinking out loud. And so I remember there was this old couple like walking in the opposite direction, and we started to walk past them. And the old man was pushing his wife, and she was in the
Move!
No, she was in the wheelchair, and she was covered in blankets because it was cold. And then, but she's also a bigger lady. And Caitlin sees it, and she's like, the rolls, the blankets, and just like yells at this lady. And I'm like, Caitlin, shut up, let's go,
Oh my god.
and I'm like, I was like, what are you talking about? She's like, what happened? I'm like, okay, you're just over here just saying shit. We got to go. And as I said, I drag us around over there. And by the time we get towards the RV park, like everything starts going black for me. And I remember like just every step was like the hardest step you ever had to take.
Jeez.
and
You just feel just like every step just feels like heavy.
yeah, every
It's like
step.
blah, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
it was heavy, and it's like I've got this weight on me, and
I feel like a blob.
and also just freaking out at the same time. And then like I see in the distance like just this blurry image of Brock's wife way out, like maybe 150 yards away, like kind of waving at us, like here we are, you
That's
know.
really far.
And I just remember like just kind of like having it kind of blacking in, blacking out type thing. You know, when somebody gets knocked in the head or whatever in a movie or where they start kind of like going in and just eventually falling out. And so eventually we make it over there, and me and Caitlin just plop down in these lawn chairs. And we're sitting there in these lawn chairs, and I'm just like staying quiet, just kind of like, just like looking, not really thinking.
Dude, just like underbite. Like,
Oh my god!
Just
I was
like,
looking just like this.
oh man.
Yeah, I
We
was
don't have
rolling
no
back.
video cameras,
And Caitlin is sitting there just like talking. I don't know what she's saying, but she's freaking out or whatever. And the next thing you know, it hits us both at the exact same time. Now it's time to throw up.
Yeah, you just
And so we
crossfaded
jump
it,
out
too.
of our chairs and we go to the side of the like RV, and we're on all fours, hands and knees, just blah blah, just oh my god, like what is this? And we're just like, she's like crying, like, what is happening? I'm like, Caitlin, it's gonna be fine, don't worry about it. This sucks, but we're gonna get through it. And blah, you're just freaking out, and Dad's over there laughing. He's like doing this stupid thing. And then I don't know how long we were there, but they end up pushing us over by the chain link fence by the interstate, because they're like, okay, y'all are over here at this RV park freaking everybody out. Y'all got to get up. You've got to move.
Yeah, it must have been really loud.
I don't know. No, it's just the image of it. Like people seeing us just on all fours and just throwing up. They don't like to see that type thing.
I feel like it's like at a Monogram thing. Like everyone's so
And I remember this night
Yeah,
because
they-
Spencer kept calling me.
Yeah,
and
and
then
Russell was a
very
bad friend and wouldn't come pick us up.
That's
But anyway-
not at all what
but
That's
happened.
anyway,
exactly what it sounds
that's
like
exactly
to me.
what it sounds like to
I'm
me.
totally on your side on this one. Russell's a bad friend.
Russell.
But anyway, and so we're sitting over there throwing up, and like the only thing that's keeping me sane, like keeping me awake.
Don't worry, he's not losing any hair over it.
Yeah, he's not losing any hair. But anyway, like the only thing that was like keeping us like sane or keeping us awake was just how frigid and like how piercing the cold wind was. Like if that cold wind wasn't there, we'd have been like passed out and just like over with. But we just stayed on all fours and stuff. Then the next thing you know, like I kind of blacked out for a little bit. And the next thing I see Dad like stand like on all fours right next to me. And I was like, yeah, you goddamn right.
Hey, I gotta be honest, man. If you're downtown Mardi Gras, if you stay on all fours for too long, you're liable to get mounted. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Well, that's what the real fear was. Is people
The real fear was sodomy.
honestly.
Really?
The reason why is because we're around a bunch of people we don't know. We are completely incapable of defending ourselves.
Oh my god.
Like we were completely incapable of getting up, because like some of the other people came over to us that were there. It's like, y'all need to get out of here. We're about to call the cops. Like, so they're trying to call the cops on us.
And you're like rolling in your own filth. No, please.
And you're like, no, don't touch it.
I was just, yeah. Well, they were just
It's
like,
mine.
like, y'all gotta get out of here. I don't know how long. I don't know how much time had passed. Like an hour or two.
They
And
were
we're just,
doing it for an hour or two?
Yeah.
Just driving?
yeah. Like we were there.
They were going to call the cops? I'm going to fuck off.
Yeah, I was trying to. I was like, fuck off, like, leave me alone. And it was like, y'all need to get out of here. We're about to call the cops on y'all being out here doing
I think
this.
you get punched for saying something like that.
Yeah, I would. But the thing is, I would. But they were like, y'all need to get up. And I was like, I physically can't. Like, this is where I am, and this is where I'm staying.
Dude,
I'm going to crawl back 3 feet, and I'm going to cuddle up with this fucking
Dude.
group
Yeah.
of folks I am with, and, I'm going to get
so
warm,
I
and
try
I'm
and
going to go to
call
sleep.
Russell. I think I ended up getting my phone out, and I'm like, Russell, where are you? And he's like, somewhere. I don't know. Where
And
he
Russell's
was.
like, I'm with my wife right now having dinner. Leave me alone.
And I was like,
Gotta
Russell-
go by. Because
I
that's
was
how
like,
Russell,
Russell, I need you to pick us up. We're fucked out of our mind, and this is a problem. Like, we've got to go. And he's like, I don't know, man. I can't do it. I'm over here doing something else. I'm like, man, fuck off.
well, that's like.
Russell's at the Chili's fucking
The
eating
Chili's.
some pasta.
And he's like, I don't know, man, if I can make it down there. You kind of on your own.
That's not exactly how it happened. I said
That's
I'd
what
come
I
get
felt
you.
like.
Russell
That's what it
said,
felt like.
fuck you, my good friend.
Dude, so here's the deal. I just picture Spencer
I'm at good air with my
on
wife.
the ground, like throwing up, rolling around, mumbling, and they're like, who the fuck is this weirdo? Get off our property. And he's doing all this weird shit. And let me tell you, man, you start doing weird shit like that for too long, the Southern man response is just start poking you with like a broom.
What is your defense?
Huh?
Why didn't you come pick
so
that
what
man
happened,
up?
What happened was
Yeah, I
was
thought he
like,
was about to explain that
I told
defense.
Caitlin, so you and Caitlin were bouncing the phone back and forth. I don't really know what's going on until about the third call, and I can make out some Caitlin's the one telling me the story. So like, all right, I'm gonna come get you. Then Caitlin calls him back, said, "Nah, Brock's coming to get us." That's how that went. It was
Brock and Caitlin. Caitlin is Brock's wife.
two Caitlins.
There's
in
two
the story.
Caitlins here. They ended up leaving us for dead, and like they straight up did. Like honestly,
Y'all weren't gonna die.
we were by ourselves on all fours.
Y'all were
completely-
fine. It's Mobile, Alabama. Nothing bad happened.
Nothing ever bad ever happens here.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, they left us to go to the next parade. And like we're just sitting there, like don't know where we are.
This is like daytime.
nighttime.
They don't want to
Like,
babysit y'all.
No, it ended up being nighttime by this time. Like we're sitting there, like in the dark.
Y'all
just-
still rolling around in lawn chairs, being weird.
Like, no lunch. No, we were on the ground, like by the interstate.
My God.
Yeah, and they straight up left us like, well, we got this parade we got to go to, so we'll see y'all later.
And for that reason, you're
left us completely unattended. Like there was nobody there.
And that night, you probably made somebody else's podcast right there.
Yeah. So anyway, we get Dad's friend to come and get us. He comes and like snags us up and takes us home eventually. And I remember him saying like, "You gotta get up. We gotta get you in the truck." And then like I was like, "You gotta pick me up." I was like, "Once you get me up, I'll be able to do it, but I physically can't leave this position." Like,
Dude, I've been like that once or twice.
yeah, I was like, I physically couldn't leave the position. And I tell you what, man, I remember whenever we got home, like he pulled into the yard or whatever, and like so he could get us out.
And you're
I
asleep.
jumped out immediately and threw up again. And
You
we
had no
eventually,
mouth sweats like the whole way home.
yeah, I don't know what it was, dude.
I know
but-
Marston's mouth sweats.
Oh, yeah.
I have no clue what that means.
It means you're about to throw up.
Yeah, you don't
just
know how
start
to get, like-
salivating
Yeah, you're salivating,
super
you-
hard.
Yeah, your mouth sweating.
Oh.
Yeah. I remember us like it ended up putting us in the bed and we're just like passed out. And it's a weird feeling like sleeping when you're that fucked up because even though you're sleeping, you still feel out of your mind. And I
You're
remember
spinning, son.
yeah, and I remember
You know how you fix that though, right? Like, all right, to all our listeners.
Spin the other way.
Absolutely. Whenever you feel like you're spinning one way, you spin the other direction. No. So, all right. Fun fact for everybody here: if you ever just spinning drunk and you've already threw up and you got everything out your system, you're laying in bed and you're like, man, I'm still spinning. Like, there's nothing left in me. You know, I just want to go to bed. And I hate my life. You're telling yourself, I'm never gonna drink again. Put one foot on the ground, like shimmy off the bed a little bit. Put one foot on the ground, and you will no longer be spinning.
okay.
Really?
I feel like this is made up.
What?
No, it's a fact.
But anyway,
I hope I never had to try
and I remember
that,
like while
but-
we were sleeping, like people just kept coming in
Noted.
and out of the bedroom, like talking about like what went like what went down. It was like kind of like slightly coherent. But I remember the actual moment that I felt like the second it all left my system and like soberness happened like 7 hours later, I immediately woke up and it was like I was like 4 a.m. Like I remember like waking up just feeling the best I've ever felt in my life. Just like
Just because he survived.
just 'cause I
Just feel
survived.
relieved.
Yeah, like because like while I was sleeping, I was still feeling like shit. Then immediately it quit and I woke up.
Dude, I remember all the time, like back in like my high school days, like just getting like that drunk and like crossfaded, where I would like, I couldn't go back to Mamaw, so I'd go back to my mom's in the trailer park, and my buddy just dropped me off on the couch, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna sleep here, it's cool, whatever. I remember like throwing up on the corner of the couch, like on the puppy training pad, because they had a dog. And I just remember like bleh, bleh, just dry heaving onto the bed, like no one ever come check me out, and they didn't care.
So the funny thing about Spencer's story he just told, one time when I was around Spencer and Caitlin and some other friends, I tried telling that story, and they got super offended because it was like traumatic for a while for them. They're like, Caitlin doesn't want you to talk about that. It's just very traumatic for both of us. God damn you! And I was like,
Dude, it was.
I was like, dude, chill. And he's like, no, for real. That like we don't even think about that. It just brings back bad memories. I'm like, dude, that's funny as fuck. And they're
Dude,
like,
I
they
remember
wasn't
some bad
feeling it.
memories about fucking Spencer and Caitlin, man. That's appropriate to talk about, but
Spencer's like, what?
dude, I remember one of
Talking
their
about the time where we were in Atlanta and he curbed the tire.
no, he wasn't there.
no,
you and
I was
Ru- that
not
me and
there.
Russell.
No, I remember like one of like their first excursions together. We're at the
I know what he's talking about now.
what bar is it?
We're at O'Daly's.
O'Daly's, And like you've seen the movie where like the chick like spills the beer on the dude's lap and he's like wiping it off at the ballpark and he's like and she's like wiping it all off, like it looks like she's jacking him off and like it's on like it's like on the kiss cam. Well, like that happened that night and like everyone's like really drunk, whatever. And we go back to my house and I'm like, oh, we're all too drunk to drive home, we'll all just go to sleep. And
this wasn't that night, but I know what you're talking
that
about.
was that night. I feel like it was. It was not that night.
It wasn't that night.
Well, that's how I remember it.
think it's some
It was
wild
that
nights.
night in my brain. That's how it always be. And
It really doesn't detract from the story, but no, that wasn't that night. But I know you're doing.
I don't know if it's appropriate to talk about. Is it okay to talk about, Spencer?
We'll see. We'll see where you
We'll
go with
see
it.
where it goes.
We'll see.
And all I remember in the night is like I'm trying to go to bed, and Spencer's trying to get his fucking smush on.
I got a story about that.
And we're on this queen size bed, whatever. Just plenty of bed, for 3 people, whatever, to go to sleep. And like, it's 3-4 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, oh, I'll go back to my house because it's too fucking late to go to sleep. And this dude's trying to get a smush on, like not on the floor, not being respectful of my bed and my personal space. Like I am like slumped right here, like. On my side of the bed, you know what I mean? I'm like already on like not the side of the bed I want to be on, so I sleep on the like the left side of the bed.
And they took it.
And they took it and like fucking Spencer's in the middle with old girl or whatever. And like, they decide they're gonna get the smush on right next to me. And I'm like, it's like it's going on, whatever. I'm pretending to be asleep, you know what I mean? It's like I'm trying to be asleep. And I'm like, man, this is disrespectful as fuck. Not even gonna fucking invite me to this fucking situation that's going on right beside me.
Tag teamed.
Yeah, he fucking offer a tag team or something at this point in time. Like, this is my fucking bed.
Jesus.
You're my room. And then finally, like 40 minutes into it, Spencer's clearly got whiskey dick. He's gonna last all goddamn night. 40 minutes. And I'm like, hey guys, do you mind just getting on the floor? I'm trying to go to sleep. I'm like, oh, you've been awake like the entire time.
So
Like what it sounds is like some sad like fucking puppies just fucking just.
you just hear.
No, so
Oh my god.
literally the same thing happened to me. This was with my brother. He it was one of his exes, and I used to be his DD like all the time. So I'd just drive with him to whatever bar he wanted to go. I'd get in for free with his ID, whatnot. They didn't somehow look like him. And long story short, we go back to like his friend's apartment, and they have like a pull-out couch, and this like living room is really small where they have the couch, and so there was a twin bed that was set up on the mattress of the pull-out couch, and so I slept on top of that, on top of the pull-out couch, and we're all just trying to go to sleep, and I mean not even 5 minutes after I close my eyes, I just start feeling this movement. I'm like, are they really right now? And I'm like, I'm facing them, so all I have to do is just open my eyes to see, but I'm like,
You don't want to see that travesty.
I'm like
of
too
Andrew.
afraid to look, and I like peek one eye, and I'm like, oh shit, they're actually doing it right now. And it's just like rocking me back and forth. My head
Rocking you to sleep.
yeah, and then probably
They're doing you a favor here, man. Trying to help you sleep.
like 20 minutes later, he gets up out of the bed, and they go to the bathroom, and I guess they finish.
They already finished. They're just cleaning
Oh
up.
man, dude.
yeah,
Hey,
that was
talk
it.
about some whiskey dick. I got a good story for that.
So I got one that's similar to both of these, but I was the perpetrator. So one time in high school, went to this dance or whatever, met this girl, and there was a sleepover at this other girl's house. It doesn't matter who it was, but yes. So we I met this girl last night, and she gave me the impression that she really wanted to give me some dome, and I'm not a man to say no to some free dome back in those days.
Free.
But,
So what do you pay for it now?
That's none of your business, Michael. All right. So we're in this room. Everybody's, it's a sleepover now. Everybody's in bed. I actually got to get on a bed, and it turns out the girl's house we were at, I was in her little brother's room, and there was a whole bunch of people in her little brother's room on the floor spending the night at this place. Well, old girl that I'd linked up with proceeds to give me dome, and I think everybody's asleep because I hear people snoring, and yeah, I get a BJ, and then some time goes by, and I'm really feeling this night, and I get another BJ, and I get another one, and we're just kind of doing this over and over. This is the cycle, And then finally, a guy gets up.
Married that girl.
Three,
And then back to back, she sees about it. And then finally, about the
No
third,
disrespect to
about the
Ashley.
Yeah,
third,
that's impressive to you too.
Oh yeah. So about the third or fourth time, I was like, I'm feeling it, and then all of a sudden, my buddy James gets up and goes, "All right, Russ, I'm about to go in the other room." I was like, "That man has been sitting through it all." He's like, "All right, he's done." My boy there was like, "All right, he's done now." He's
He's
done.
heard you scream a couple times.
So he's like, "All right, he's done." He went to the bathroom. He's like, "We went to the
you
bathroom."
sound like a real. I think you're a real grunter when you climax.
But
Russell makes all sorts of noises. I can see it now.
So like, I bust one or two.
You can't tell his facial expression because he has no hair.
Bitch, shut up. That has nothing to do. I have eyebrows. All right. So I just picture old poor James over there just like, all right, he's done now. He went to the bathroom. Oh, he's gone again. Oh, cool. Good for him. All right, it's another one. That's 3 for the books. And he's like, God damn it, I'm trying to get some sleep over here. And all you hear is just, oh, shit, slow down. Oh, God damn, I'm like a Dyson.
Oh, man.
It was a good time, man.
So
Shout out James, man. You know who you are. You're my boy.
So back in my day when I used to live in Colorado, I live in the Springs, and Denver's just a little cruise up the road. And me and my buddies were like, "Oh, we've heard of this bar that's like really popping. We're gonna go to it." It's like we go to the country bars over there. Like we out there and two-step. I can two-step. I can spin you around that dance floor. You know what I mean? That's my moves. I can thrive at those kind of bars. And so we're at this bar, and we see this group of girls over there next to us. And my buddy, all right, so I'm with 2 of my buddies. One of them was his girlfriend, so he's not making any moves. And it's just me and my buddy Gavin. And, Gavin's like, "Hey, man." He's like, "The girls over there have been staring." I was like, "Yeah, but only one of them's cute." and Gavin looks better than me. I've already accepted that fact. You know what I mean? I was like, and she's going to go for you. She ain't going for me. I was like, I'm not taking one for the team. He's like, "Come on, man. Just go over and talk to him." And I'm like, "All right, man. I'll do that for you." And, we get over there talking to him, whatever. He's like, "Hey, the girls want to dance, whatever, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "Man, I don't want to." And I'm like, "All right, man, I'll dance with her, whatever. We'll go spin her around a couple times, whatever, have a good time." And, so we're over there, dancing around, dance floor, whatever. And they're like, "Hey, what y'all doing after this?" Like, "Oh, we're going to head out." And, we got to drive back to the Springs. Like, "Oh, no, y'all don't got to drive back over there. Y'all just take us home. We'll, you'll stay with us." I'm like, "All right, that's cool." You know what I mean? It's whatever. Of course, Andrew goes home with his girlfriend. So it's me and Gavin's like, there's a couple of girls there, whatever. And, girl I was dancing with, I was like, well, apparently, it looked like, oh, man, I'm a nice guy. And she was like, "Oh, I was so, whatever, I'm a sweet guy, at this point in time, you know what I mean?" And like, blah, 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 blah. And, so we get back to this girl's apartment, and I'm not getting out the car, you know what I mean? Because Gavin drove, and he's like, "Hey, man," he's like, we got to go upstairs. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just going to chill right here, man, for the night."
Barry doing his weird, drunk, incoherent nonsense that he does
One
all the
eye
time.
closed.
One
Hey,
eye
man.
closed. Like, "Nah, man, I think it'd be much better if I sleep on the side of this curb."
Yeah, exactly. And I was
shit
like,
like
"Nah,
that.
man,
He
I'm
does
gonna stay
shit
right
like
here."
that, man. I swear
And
to
he's like,
God.
"Nah, man." I was like, dude, if I go up there, man, them girls are trying to smush me, and I'm like, "I ain't trying to smush them."
Trying to smush.
You do
And
some
he's like,
smushing with that girl.
"Dude, man," he's like,
You smush
he's like,
so
"I
much
need
you'll
you
fall
tonight."
in.
All right, but let me tell you something. The girl that Gavin was with, I mean, she was fucking bad. And I was like, dude, he's like, "Dude, I need you, man." It's like, "This chick's bad as fuck." It's like, "It's gonna be really weird if you don't come upstairs." And I'm like, "All right, man, I'm coming." And I go upstairs, and they blow up a little air mattress, whatever, blah blah blah. And Gavin's girl's chilling on the couch, watching a movie, whatever. And I'm pretty drunk to the point I'm very incoherent. And
Belligerent.
yeah, I'm pretty belligerent drunk. And this girl's like, "Oh, you gonna sleep down here with me?" I'm like, "No, I'm pretty comfortable on the couch." She's like, "Oh, you should come down here with me." And Gavin's like, "Yeah." and Gavin's like, "Yeah, get down there with her, man." And,
Gavin.
Oh, you little fucker.
He just pushed you off the cliff right there.
and I'm like,
Good luck.
and it's just one of those things where you kind of got to. And I'm like, "All right, I'll get down there." And next thing she knows, she starts diddling my dingly. And
That was fast.
And
Oh, dude. She saw an opportunity. She's like, "I got this dude right here out of my league. I'm about to go all in."
He feels pressured.
He
I
feels
locked him
pressured.
down.
I'm basically raping him. So
and
let's
she
do
starts
it.
diddling me, and I'm like all very incoherent. I'm like, "Oh yeah," one thing's leading another. I'm like, "All right, it's cool." It's cool. And
Just close your eyes, man.
And you know, like, so Gavin and this girl is just like very like he's not making any moves or nothing like that. He's just they're sitting upright on the couch like watching TV. And I'm down here on this air mattress, like in between like the sectional, like in the middle, like it's in the middle of the sectional right there. And next thing you know, I'm like smushing this chick. And I'm like, I'm disappointed in myself, whatever. I'm going at it, you know what I mean? I'm just like, the decision's already been made.
So,
and dude, it's been going on for a hot minute, and all I hear is like, me and this girl haven't said anything towards each other. All it has been is
Pure
just,
business at this point.
Yeah, it's all just noises. You know what I mean? Noises and moans and sounds of gelatin.
Spaghetti.
And you hear Gavin, like talking to this girl. He leans over to tell her, but I mean, he said it really loud. He's like, "That man got whiskey dick."
damn.
Like he's gonna be at it for a minute. And I'm like, Gavin's pretty country, you know what I mean? So it sounded more like that man got whiskey dick. And I was like bust out laughing. And like I don't know how like that exact moment like set the mood for the other chick, but it did, and like it worked out for my homeboy. Didn't work out for me. I was pretty disappointed in myself, but I woke up and I was sad.
Didn't you tell them something like, "Hey, aren't y'all gonna like?"
Yeah. I was like, hey man, we can't be the only ones doing anything, whatever. And like, I guess Gavin was being a little puss, and old girl had to make the move on him, but then like it got initiated, and like it all worked out, man. It all worked out for everyone in the long run besides me.
So I got one. This happened years ago. I went on a beach trip with a lot of friends, and this beach trip consisted of us going to the club, living the life. It was fun. It was in Florida, all right?
Sounds sandy.
So I remember going on this beach trip, and all of us decided, there's guys, girls, all of us, and we decided to go to this club. And there was this one girl who had tried making moves on me a few times during the trip. I wasn't about it. There's nothing wrong with the girl. It's just I don't really like her like that. She's like a friend's ex-girlfriend at the time. It was weird for me. But she came on to me one time when I was driving. She started to grab my balls a little bit, and I was like, yeah.
Grab your balls only?
She's grabbing my balls through on the jeans. Kind of a weird thing. She's kind of like squeezing my nuts and dick. But anyway,
she's trying to get them.
Did you have hair at this time?
So anyway, so we're doing that, and I kind of didn't, like I said, it was just weird for me. This is one of the few times, like I always make the joke, can't turn anything down. Well, I kept trying to raise my knee, and I was going, all right, this chick's just kind of, I wasn't about it, right? So anyway, we ended up going to a club that night, and we started dancing. And I just remember I'm dancing, I'm having fun, dancing with a girl here or there, and I'm feeling it. And then out of nowhere, she grabs me, walks me to the dance floor, very assertive, need I remind you, walks me to the dance floor, bends over, starts twerking on me. And she knows I'm not about this, and she's like, forcing me to do this. So she starts throwing it back, throwing ass all over me, and I'm with it for a minute. I'm like, yeah. And then I look to my left and look to my right, and there's a bunch of guys on the dance floor, kind of, just reserved type fellas. One of them looked sort of on the, accountant side. He's kind of a different looking fella. So she's sitting there face down, twerking. She's been down there for a minute. I look at old dude and I call him over, tag that man in. We swap. Then I walk up to the second story of it. It's a balcony inside, and I'm sitting there twerking. I'm watching. She has been going on this man for about 30 minutes, and he took full advantage. I was kind of laid back, hands on the hips. He's grabbing ass, slapping ass.
Yeah, she thought she broke you down. At that point.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there looking, and then after about 2 or 3 minutes goes by, she looks back, looks, and she jerks after she sees who it is, and she just looks around, looks right, and just walks off. And it was like the funniest thing, and I feel bad about that. That probably wasn't the coolest thing to do, but then again.
Well, she was forcing herself on you, and that's rape.
Yeah, I tagged my boy in.
That's
yeah,
twice.
man. I was Matt and tagged old Jeff Hardy in there, and we did a thing.
That's awesome.
Well, guys, I appreciate you coming out, listening to the Rusty Chatters podcast show. Don't forget to email us with all your situations, questions, love, hate mail at rustychatters.
We prefer
at
only
Gmail.
hate mail.
Yes, rustychatters at Gmail.
If you're not making fun of us, we don't want to hear it.
You can find us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Follow us all, or get the fuck out.